We have another episode of Not So Christian Brothers with brothers, Justin Caffrey and Colm Hayes, who are looking very different fashion directions today. Please like, subscribe, share, engage. We love your DMs because we can kind of use them for topics and use them throughout the week. I've got some good stuff this week, but Colm, you want to tell us what?
Well, firstly, if you're not watching on video, you think you should. Because
so much to see.
For some reason, it is quite cold in the room today. And for some reason, Justin's decided to wear a beanie hat, right? Now, you actually look like if Tommy Tiernan and Billy Connolly ever had a child.
Aww. Aww.
Like that you would,
Oh my God. Who's the crazy director in America?
Woody Allen.
No, the guy who's in his movies, John Doodle.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm talking about. There's a whole film called him.
Yeah, he's an absolute nutball. I was reading about him. I can't remember his name.
Malkovich.
But also
John Malkovich.
No,
you look like him.
No, you also look like you have a head wound.
Oh.
That you're covering over a head wound. And you also look like one. Can you say dwarfs now?
No.
You know Snow White and Seven Dwarfs?
Small
You look like one of the dwarfs.
What would you say? Snow White and the seven vertically challenged people.
Gentlemen. Yeah.
Snow White.
Who all live together in a homoerotic community.
Yeah, because like some of them may be choosing not to be, heterosexual.
Yeah. Oh, and listen, they were all.
I mean, Happy was some stuff
too
going on
happy. And Grumpy wasn't getting nothing.
No.
Oh my God.
And also they kidnapped her. Like when you think about that story, they kidnapped Snow White.
Don't be ridiculous. It was consensual. She was super happy.
She was super happy with 7 vertically challenged men who were all
Hold on, but
homoerotic,
somebody-
all had beards, and all looked exactly the same, except for facial expressions.
Yeah.
And the old lesbian who came along and gave her Rohypnol.
Who?
Yeah.
Oh,
the
yes.
dirty old queen.
Wow, this was a
Old lesbian gives her Rohypnol and then sells her to a younger man to have sex with her while she's asleep.
Same parents, different timelines, and united by chaos. Strap on, strap in, for the not-so-Christian brothers.
Wow, our kids are
It's
growing
Harvey
up.
Weinstein, Epstein, all the Steens.
All the Steens.
All Steens,
But if you
multiple
look into
Steens.
all of those...
Sexual exploitation was happening at a Walt Disney level. And that's where it all
Same
started.
with Beauty and the Beast. That was very
That's what I'm
predatory.
thinking about it. Yeah, Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, and Cinderella. It's all predatory, right?
It is all predatory. I mean, it is like when you think about the these old shows and how acceptable it was to see women getting drugged.
Yeah.
And then you'd only ever get saved because some handsome lad would come along and
Slightly so.
God.
But also, at the start of every Disney movie from like the 40s onwards, within 5 minutes, a very important person in your life was murdered.
Aww.
No, but you like Bambi,
Bambi!
Finding Nemo and all that. Within 5 minutes, somebody was murdered or killed or died. Dumbo, the same.
Dumbo killed
The
me.
Lion King. Think of it. Now, okay, you're trying to teach your kids how to deal with it? Really? It's just Disney. They had a warped mentality, those lads.
don't they also sell like you were talking last week's show about this idea of setting the bar really high. And I think beautifully you then recounted that instead of looking to the top of the stairs, you're now looking at the next stair, which is better, especially at your age.
Hey!
But when you think back to like kids,
Says the man in the hat. Clearly he's on day release. Go ahead.
and this is Terry's hat, by the way.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very beautiful hat.
Terry,
Thank you,
just tell me there he's having some problems with knits.
No. It's not. And it also loosens up the jaw.
It does. I mean, if I had like lockjaw,
You'd
like
wear
a
that
like a
hat.
French
We need
dancer.
to do lockjaw as a topic one week, not this week.
Yeah.
But if you think about
If we
like
got you drunk, your nickname could be Locked Jaw.
Well, it's so
Because you have a very
rude.
prominent
It's so
jaw.
rude. Like I can't. Like
Do you know what I mean?
Terry's just zoomed in. You know what, Terry?
Sorry, Justin.
But yeah, so I think we're almost sold this idea that we need to be pursuing by these shows. Like I always remember watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Is that what it was called?
It's Willy Wonka,
Willy Wonka.
originally, yeah.
And the original one with Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
And at
Not
the
Gene
end,
Hackman, curly hair.
sorry, yeah, Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman would have been a good
That would have been.
He was just shot the kids.
Yeah.
Gene Butler. I mean,
Don't touch my chocolate.
And then Al Pacino walks in. Hey!
And funny, there's a French connection there as well.
Hey!
Boom, boom. Back to the lockjaw, Terry. That's the after show dark episode.
It'll be a running joke now for the next year about the French girl on the lockjaw, and we're never able to explain because Terry might end up in jail.
And we would get taken off Spotify.
Can you get taken off Spotify?
With that kind of content? Yeah.
But go ahead. Where are we? Where are we? Yeah.
So Gene Wilder and the kid at the end who goes up in the elevator and takes off. And I used to think, wow, like there is moments like that happen in your life, right? You're going to meet somebody who sees you for who you are, and then all of a sudden you'll be successful and you'll be happy. And that's how kids shows teach us. It's like eventually you're going to be the Lion King, or you're going to be the star, or you're going to be this kid, the chocolate factory's yours. Or, you know, Aslan in not the band, in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
That relationship and that profound impact that he had on people. I kept thinking, oh, there has to be people like that. But then there isn't. You know?
There isn't that person.
There isn't that person.
No.
It's
No,
just
Justin,
you.
stop.
Like,
No, I
you
get
know,
it.
it's like the emperor's new clothes. Like, it's that moment when you realize as an adult, nobody's coming.
But do you think do you know, some people think that they've met somebody somewhere along their way, like this book that you've got me to read, the Welcome to the Magic Shop.
She's just got lost in the idea that nobody's coming.
Oh yeah, I know.
Sometimes
you're
my
so
hair's
pure.
in my mouth and my jaw's on fire.
Sometimes people are coming.
But the your woman Ruth in the Magic. What's this guy again? He's the neurosurgeon. You got me on
James Doughty.
He did have a person. He did get this woman, Ruth, who then sort of told him about breathing techniques and chasing your dream and always going for it. And there are great moments in great movies like Good Will Hunting and stuff like that where there's a significant other or an older. You see it a lot in these movies. There's a great one with Bill Murray. And he's a real grumpy old man. And he moves into this house. So this single parent moves in next door and she asks him to take care of her kid because she's late for work, whatever, and he's really, really grumpy. And together they on this journey, they change. You know, A Little Bit Sunshine was another great one where there's the grandfather changed her completely. So they do exist not only in movies because movies do reflect life. So I think there are some people. I'm trying to think, was there anyone that I can actually? I remember I had a great English teacher and a commerce teacher, Brick. He was dead, I think, when you came to the school, and he would come in a three-piece suit, immaculate, very long hair though, so quite a well-dressed hippie, and he would just speak about life and stuff going on in the world and not even talk about commerce or whatever else we were doing. And I was always drawn to that sort of person that I felt offered advice without looking for anything back, and offered advice not even expecting you to take it, just gave you his view of things, and they were really worldly and deep.
Okay, guys, this is
beautiful. I think that's really valid, because I think as well that you meet lots of people in your life who offer you little moments where they just kind of push the boat a little bit.
Yeah.
And over the course of the direction of your life, you end up in a very different place. But it's only nudging. It's not getting shot out of the elevator in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
There is a moment in my life that I shared with Anne that I saw the greatest expression of love ever. And we were in Venice, and it wasn't my expression, Dan. We were in Venice, and we'd been given this hotel to go to for dinner. So you go into the lobby downstairs. The hotel, the restaurant was on the rooftop. So you go into the lobby, real old school Italian, and we're sitting there having a drink, and there was a guy playing piano. And he was like in an area that was like cordoned off. You know the way you see it in old movies where the courtroom is sort of cordoned off and you go through the swingy door. So for whatever reason, his performance area was cordoned off. So it went up about 4 foot. And he's playing amazing piano. And there was a guy dancing, and he had a tuxedo on, but open. It looked really cool, long hair, and he was just swinging and dancing to the music. And I thought, well, hey, weirdo. And then he was just dancing so well and looking at something. I thought, there's something. What is he doing? And Anne said, don't. And I went, no, I have to. What is he dancing to? What is he doing, right? And I got up and I walked around to have a look at the piano player. And I leaned over, and obviously it was his partner, and she was in a wheelchair. So I couldn't see her. But he was dancing for her. And their eyes were completely locked together. And I presumed at one stage this is what they did together. So they couldn't anymore. So he did it for her. He performed for her. So she could still feel their love while they danced. And I just
been a pervert. Like,
was.
I was going to say that was quite a beautiful story.
Seriously, it
that
was
really
absolutely
nice. Don't mind this from beside
floored me. It really did. And I just thought that is what he's just doing, that expression of love.
But maybe she's looking at him thinking, show off prick.
yeah, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
see
I can't
what
dance.
you
See, I like Jerry. I'm with you
such
in
a
this. I
psycho.
thought that was a good story. It actually happened. It was for real. I had a mum. They all have their poignant little stories, and we're meant to cry at theirs.
No, I'm with you on this, Colm. I'm a sucker for romance. I am a sucker for romance,
Okay.
and that is a romantic story.
That's a rom-com moment.
Yeah, I was shooting a film already in my head listening
you
to that
go.
story,
There you
so
go.
it was
That was
beautiful.
such a
The
silly
lad over
reference
here
to
looks like he's just shooting up.
Cut that out. Cut that out.
Hit
Okay.
the head on him.
I wanted to give you the topic, which you've just spoken a lot about Bambi, Dumbo, and Al Pacino all in one. What are the
That'd be a good movie.
movies that have had a profound impact? Like we heard from Justin last week about the new Bruce Springsteen film and how it really actually did have a profound impact on his life because he actually discovered in his 20s what was going on. But are there films as a child? I have one as a child that was just traumatic for me to watch, and Sound of Music is one of those. And then are the ones as adults that have changed you?
Debbie Does Dallas.
I've just taken off Terry's hat and now I can actually hear everything.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't actually hear it. This is really quite
Keep it back
heavily
on, though.
insulated
keep
around
it
the
going.
ears, Terry.
It's when then we don't have to hear you.
It's good. It's nice and warm as well. Yeah, it keeps the.
There are movies, but I think one of the movies that profoundly we were talking about Cinema Paradiso, and we both loved that, and Betty Blue is another movie. But I love them for being movies, right? I think a movie that moved me most and tried to make me think about friendship and life at a very young age in my 20s was oh my God, I've forgotten the name of it. The Big what?
Big Chill.
Sorry, I was thinking of The Big Sleep. The
I was
Big
thinking
Chill.
of The Big Lebowski. I was like,
No, The Big Chill, written by Lawrence Kasdan, who went on to direct Superman and some action movies. But he wrote this about his life, and it was about a guy who killed himself. And they were a group of, they had all been together in college. And when the phone calls came in that one of their best mates had killed themselves, they all, from their various jobs, came back for this one weekend to obviously bury him and celebrate his life and find each other where they are now and try and get the thread back to how they met first. And then the music was just Aretha Franklin, The Temptations,
Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones. Oh, yeah, you can't always get what you want.
Which is the key theme to
Yes.
the entire movie, right?
Yeah. When they're driving into the funeral.
Yeah.
And Jeff Goldblum. And then your man in the car who I loved. One of my mates always said he reminded me of me.
Yeah, because he's a drug addict
Yes, you know the guy I'm talking about. Yeah.
who had his penis blown
Who had
off in Vietnam.
His dick shot
Yeah.
off in Vietnam, and he gets
See
quaaludes.
previous episodes for when that happened to Colm.
I'm trying to put two to two how this person is equated like you.
uncanny, really.
Mine was a Boy Scout accent and a tin opener, but anyway. But I think you could identify some of your friends.
He was unhinged.
And the Jeff Goldblum character that was the journalist that sort of brought it all together. I just found at the end, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I know Kenneth Branagh tried to make a similar version of it, Peter's Friends, years later, which just didn't work. But for me, if you want to see friendship, the way it unravels, re-ravels, unravels.
Glenn Close was amazing.
Glenn Close.
Glenn
was it,
Close
yeah.
was amazing.
It's called The Big Chill. That's my movie.
And Kevin Costner was the dead body.
He was the hand.
Yeah, that was the only
Yeah,
pick
yeah.
he got in the show.
His first movie.
Yeah, his first movie.
So they did have his full body in the bath because he killed himself. And then to make up for time, they just cut to have his hand dripping over, and that was Kevin Costner's hand.
We should
That
watch
comes up
that.
in a lot of quizzes.
But you know, here's a weird intersection of our lives, right? So that movie you had on video in your house.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, we were over in your house one Sunday. And I was probably 12, 13, I think. And you guys were all in having dinner. And I was like, I'm not interested in that. So I popped it into the VCR and I watched it. And it had the most profound impact on me for the rest of my
Really?
life. And I watched that movie many times again. And to show you how much of a profound impact it had on me throughout my life, the morning that Joshua died, when we were with him, we went up and we sat upstairs, and we knew he was dying. It was only a matter of time. And Luca was out with our mother and father at the time, and Beatrice said, "Oh, we watched something." And I said, "I'm going to show you a movie that is probably the most important movie I've ever watched in my life, that helps me understand people, events, and the cycle of life." And that's the movie we watched.
Chill.
And Joshua died when we were watching the movie.
Oh gosh.
So it's quite hilarious. Obviously not that part where he dies.
Put the hat back on.
That is definitely not the line you say after that
Came out of
story.
nowhere. Yeah, go on. Choose your words, sir. Choose your words.
I mean, it was hilarious that he chose that moment.
Yeah.
But it is kind of, it puts the hair on the back of my neck up when you say that it's that movie for you.
Yeah.
And you know, Beatrice listens to this podcast, thankfully, and she'll know that was that movie we watched that morning as well.
Well, it's that sort of movie. It just transcends everything and I don't know anybody that didn't watch the movie.
It tracks.
Like Anne got fed up with it eventually because we watched it about 15, 20 times. You've now put your hat back on again. It's not even a hat.
I'm never bringing sweets in ever again. Like no one's getting pick and mix ever again in the studio.
Is there any?
Yeah, he is jacked up on sugar now. He's just like all over the place.
I'm going to say as well, another movie that profoundly affected me was Elf.
Oh.
I loved the juxtaposition of this man in this world that he shouldn't be in, but yet found his place to be there and was helped by a beautiful woman. And I love that. And I think there's a deeper, more resonant bit in Elf that people sometimes, they think it's a Christmas movie. I just think he plays it so brilliantly at a man lost in the world, but thoroughly enjoying it. That it doesn't have to be too serious. You know, you can put whatever you want into your cereal. If the sign said best coffee in the world, maybe it is. You know what I mean? Because somebody had to do that sign and put it out, and we're convinced it was the best coffee in. And so many times I've wanted to go into a hotel on the swingy doors and just keep going. I remember in France being with the kids and so many roundabouts in France. I chose one roundabout and we went around it 5 times, and it was about the 5th time Anne was going, "What are you doing?" And I went, "I don't know. It's just great crack." So that's the reason I loved Elf, because it was just this man who's out of place in this world and yet found a place in it. I think it's great messages there. Or maybe I'm just a simple fool.
No, I get you.
Maybe you're
just
also a simple fool.
yeah. He was just himself. He never let anybody judge him for who he was, or he never questioned it, and he just kept doing what he was doing.
People had to accept him as Elf.
Yeah,
He never had to become a man.
loved it.
I'm emotional. That is so emotional.
Yeah. No, that's it. And I watch Elf every Christmas. We watch it twice every Christmas day. Kids are so fed up now at this stage.
I think that's the most profound thing you've ever said.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I mean, I
Follow that, bitch.
I don't know.
She's
I
also
can't.
crying here
But
beside me.
We have
It
the same
touched her. It
tradition
touched her.
in terms of that movie, and I
Oh,
think,
Elf, do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly the same tradition. And it's always funny, like, you know, this year I've got this big, 6'5" athletic hunk sitting
You
beside
got
me.
an Elf.
Yeah, and it's like, and he just wants to see the movie because for him, it's that moment. It's like, okay, Christmas is kicking off. So we don't watch it on Christmas Day. We always watch it kind of, around about the kind of 14th, 15th. It's that moment of saying, okay, we're now moving into Christmas cheer. But isn't that the whole idea though from movies? It's art, right? I love the idea that we can see a film or we can look at a painting. I can see a painting. Last night I was just being in a reflective mood, and I was looking at a painting on the wall, which is such a kind of weird painting, but I actually bought it in the villa where we got married when you were at our wedding in Sicily in 2005, and I was just like looking at that painting, going, "Oh yeah, that painting is weird." And then you go back into that moment, and you go back into that time, and you go back into those memories. I think anything that stimulates us to be reflective on life is just, I mean, how impressive is it the person who creates the movie or paints the painting or or writes the poem, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Like that whole idea that something can outlive you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our legacy, right? That's what we really want to try and achieve. Like, you can build all the money and have all the kind of shows and who afterwards. But if somebody remembers you because of a song or a poem or a parting word or an impact that you have on them, like those school teachers that you spoke about.
Simple things.
That's everything.
A podcast.
A podcast. Please
But
like, subscribe, and follow, because that will be our legacy.
There was a study just released, and I heard it today, and they did this study of checking people's cortisones in their brain when they go into museums or into art galleries, and they come out so much more peaceful and happier. And it's not because it's a quiet place, and some people just don't get art, and that's fine. But I mean, when you go to a really good art gallery, La Virgen de Sofia in Madrid, where it does all the new stuff. What do they call that?
Modern.
The Renaissance. Modern, yeah. Not
Renaissance is not, well, it depends. Maybe in your generation, the Renaissance is
yeah.
new.
No, the lads that did. Oh, hello, I'm Billy Wilder. I am Impressionists. Yeah. So anyway, those lads. So you could just sit in front of a painting for hours, as you said, and just immerse yourself. And there's so many things happening in a still painting. Like, it's the guy who painted it, the girl who painted it, the year was painted. How did they get that light coming in? What am I seeing? Those flowers. Wow, that moment reminds me when I bought those flowers at that. There is so much, and it's a still. Like, I think I get it. It's amazing. And like, for that guy and then you what we love to do, it's an amazing thing. We love to share art. Do you know the way my Alex is always going, that's Sam Fender, that's my Sam Fender, I brought him to you. And he gets great pleasure in knowing that he brought Sam Fender to me, because he's like Bruce Springsteen, Sam Fender. And I listen to him. And when I'm playing him in the car, I'll go, well, I showed him to you. And we do that with art as well, don't we? Remember that Van Gogh? I showed you the Van Gogh. Well, I showed you. There's almost ownership of it for you, because you've seen the pleasure it's brought to somebody else, and you don't get that from anything else.
And it's funny, though, in some ways, when you say the sharing and ownership, I sketched both of my children, Joshua and Luca, and those pictures are in our living room, but I have them hidden. So I don't want anybody to see them. I don't want to show them to anybody. But I always just have a moment every so often where I take them out and I look at them, and I just kind of remember that it was not just their image, but it was me immersed in their image to create it. Like, it's just it's a lived version of an interaction with another human that is so deep inside you, like, in terms of if you draw it or paint it or bring it to life. And I'm no artist by any stretch, but I love that idea of interpretation. It's like how I see you, and like, I could show that to Luca, and I think I see him in a beautiful light, or Joshua, the photograph that I painted him from or sketched him from. But equally, it could be shite, right? But it's yours, and it's your connection to a person or a thing, and it's just creative. And I think I don't really know what I'm trying to say here.
Is it because art is never shite? It always comes from the heart, and if it comes from the heart, it's really true.
It's the subjectivity of it. It's like, isn't a big new form of therapy now? Psychological therapy is music as well, and they found the beauty of music and listening to music. I mean, my go-to all the time is music. Now, I don't play good piano. I play piano, but I don't play good piano. And only in the last week have I been able to play piano again. Because when I played piano, and again, I'm not a good piano player, but when I played piano, Anne was always upstairs in bed.
Because you were playing piano.
No, in the
You just stuck to the bed.
in the last year, and then I'd go up and she'd go, "Oh God, is that Billy Joel? Always a woman?" And I go,
No, it wasn't. It was
Forza
Britney.
Road.
Chopsticks.
No, but I'd go, "Yeah, did you get it?" And she'd go, "Yeah, that's not bad." And it was like, oh, a little thrill for me, And I think music, art, I think we don't appreciate how good it is for our mental health. We do not appreciate how getting to a space with music when you're in a certain mood, maybe a black mood or a down mood, how it can bring you out within 2 bars of a tune, within the bass line of a song. Especially if it's something you grew up with, an old Santana song, there's a particular song, and the bass line just gets every time. I feel that,
I completely agree. I think it's because art is only from the heart. It only comes, and the heart, all it's affected with is love. Where everything else from the brain comes with depression. The thought of something, or to think about something, or reminisce over something too long, your whole head goes into a darker space. Where art lightens the heart. You don't think about it. You just feel it. You feel the love for it immediately.
Yeah, it's feeling the love.
Except for Who Let the Dogs Out.
Oh.
But you know what, again, maybe that resonates with somebody, maybe with dogs. Do you know? But I'm telling you this much. There's probably a time that somebody was in a nightclub and looked across and fell in love with a girl, and eventually they got married. And what was playing? Who Let the Dogs Out? And it's their song. And it's their song. And their wedding song, you know? Because I think it's what Terry said. No matter how bad it is, there's a place for it. If somebody has created it and given so much time and thought to it, there is a place for it. You know, I really firmly believe.
But I also think, and Terry, you beautifully said it there in terms of the heart, I think so much of our challenge in life is when we're too much in our head, right? We get too heady, we overthink, ruminate. When we get into our heart, when we get into our body, when we feel connected, that shifts. And I think, we grew up in a working class environment in Northside Dublin, but I got to study
where most
art.
men dress the way you are. On the way to mines.
Up to mine.
Go on then.
Down the mines, but 7. But I got to study art history and appreciation in school, and I had a great art teacher who would just ask us to experience it. And it took me a long time to get to grips with what that actually meant. But I think if you look at art, and if this sounds, too highbrow, then change the show and find somebody else to listen to. No.
Don't listen to him. He's wearing a hat.
Don't do that. Stay with us. Then, it's a movie, right? It's a song. It's whatever floats your boat in terms of bringing you out of that feeling and just bringing you to another place.
Just flick on 10cc, art for art's sake.
10cc straight into the art.
The band. Art for art's sake, money for God's sake. I listen, totally, absolutely agree.
Yes, kids.
Sorry,
that was the 70s.
Can I ask you one thing? What was the predominant smell from your art teacher?
Piss.
Oh, no.
Cigarettes.
There you go. Every art teacher.
Yeah.
They always just smell to smoke.
Nicky Moran, he was a legend in St. Aidan's for anybody who's listening. And actually quite a few people who used to go to school with us listen to this podcast. But Nicky Moran was, again, a throwback from the 60s who somehow, got into the 80s. But Nicky he was best mates with Derek O'Gorman.
Oh, was he? Dog?
Yeah.
That was another teacher from.
That was our religion teacher back in school days. And they used to just smoke their brains out in Derek's office, which is
yellow
where you
fingers.
go for religious instruction.
They always
had
had
to fight through the haze of smoke.
They always had yellow fingers. Like it was
Is that where you got your stage name from? Haze of smoke.
No, that'd be Haze. I'm a Hayes guy.
I've never noticed.
Okay, well, the after show is coming on Sunday where we pick apart this one, but that was such a gorgeous, brilliant, stunning sexual episode.
Jeez,
of
okay,
Not So
yeah.
Christian. With Justin Caffrey and Colm Hayes, get involved. In the
Justin's
show.
the one in the hat.